only 2 episodes into Survivor 48, and the season's already delivered its first shocking elimination that maybe shouldn't have been so shocking in retrospect.
I have a 4-person alliance with Say, Cedrek, and Justin. Then I have a side alliance with Mary. So I'm kind of like the king of Bula right now. This has changed the trajectory of my entire game.
All 3 starting hidden immunity idols have been found. One's already been played. And the Vula tribe is such a disaster. Logie felt comfortable sitting out their semi-pro basketball player in a challenge that ended with basketball. Who's looking like a front runner? Who's looking like a flop runner? And whose traits need to be humbled? Let's find out.
Obviously not the outcome that I wanted, but at least I tried my best. It was fun, but I just want some peace and quiet now.
It wasn't a great sign for Kevin that in his pregame interviews, he wondered which of the bigger guys would be the muscle on his tribe, only for him to be Vula's muscle, and then dislocate his shoulder 20 steps into the first challenge. But I still thought Kevin was going to be a main character this season, at least for more than 2 episodes of it. Unfortunately, as soon as Cedrek told Say what Kevin told him about blindsiding her, he was doomed. From there on out, it was just one super satisfying editing choice after another until Kevin got voted out. Before Tribal Council, Kevin told Mary to just chill while he worked to save her game. And all his work trying to blindside Say does save Mary's game, just not the way he thought it would. After their talk, Mary said her fate is in Kevin's hands, and it was, but not in the way she thought it would be. Despite his early exit, Kevin can take solace in knowing that even if Vula Tribe was already screwed in challenges with him, they're definitely screwed now that he's gone.
She spills everything. Everything just got flipped on its head.
Bianca's had 2 confessionals in 2 episodes. At this rate, her biggest, most visible contribution to the season is going to be injuring Thomas's eye at the immunity challenge. Logie politics were a major focus this episode, but Bianca got crumbs. Just a single beat to poke fun at Star's subpar gameplay before she dipped back under the radar for the rest of the episode, until she poked Thomas's eye at the challenge.
Are you okay? Oh my god.
Am I bleeding?
No, you're good, you're good, you're good.
He rubs it up. He's all right. This is Survivor.
That Thomas still has his one good eye on Bianca as his ride or die is the only reason her game is still breathing. But if she doesn't get more screen time soon, their partnership will stop giving me hope for Bianca and start making me nervous for Thomas. No one really gets purpled in the edit anymore, but Bianca's definitely getting lilaced.
I'm using this Beware advantage to build trust. I'm using it to show like, hey, I have a cookie. Do you want a cookie? Because I'll definitely give it to you.
In this episode, Star found the Beware advantage she started looking for last time, and immediately told 4 of her 5 tribe mates so they could help her unlock it, even though she already understood exactly what she needed to do. Her plan is to use the hidden immunity idol to entice people into becoming her allies. If the next time on Survivor is to be believed, and it rarely is, then Bianca and Thomas might take Star's bait. But this episode reminded us more than once that too many people knowing about your advantage is a bad thing.
The second someone else knows about your advantage, not only does it cause a target on your back, but you can't use it as well. Star is a perfect example of telling too many people about what you got.
The other reason Star tells everyone about her idol is so she can unite them against Eva, the only person she doesn't tell because
She's already plotting on my demise.
And though Eva does start plotting after she learns about the plot to get her out, at first, it was actually all the people Star tried to recruit as allies that were doing the conspiring against her.
Full-blown sabotage. Just ruin her.
So that probably won't bode well.
Doesn't everybody clean their belly button with a Q-tip? But I guess not, because they don't have it so deep like me.
The Siva tribe has now taken a back seat in both episodes, and this time, Chrissy barely even made it into the car. During a scene about all their notable body parts, Chrissy revealed that her belly button is so deep she can fit almost a whole Q-tip in it. And that's pretty much her sole contribution to the episode. Later, she idol hunted with the rest of her alliance, but of the 4, she got the smallest role. Despite her lack of screen time, Chrissy is one of my favorite players this season. I want her to go far. I think a bottomless belly button could be really useful for hiding idols and clues to idols, and I will cling to her confessional about her job helping her gameplay as evidence that she could still win until the flame on her torch is nothing but embers under Jeff's snuffer. But now that Chrissy's he's been the least consequential contestant on the least important tribe for 2 consecutive episodes, I'm worried.
This fly has been following me for 3 days. I'm not joking. I swear it's the same one.
Despite being in the majority alliance on a tribe that's gone to 2 of 2 tribal councils, we only heard from Justin a couple times through both of Vula's pre-tribal scrambles. He feels so intentionally left out of these scenes that he should be central to. I'm wondering, or maybe just hoping, that he's being hidden until his own Genevieve-style breakout episode. But the window for that to happen is like the broken one in my kitchen. It's closing really fast. Even if his allies get more screen time, I think the edit subtly gives Justin at least partial credit for Kevin's blind side by racking focus to this spider while he persuades Cedrek. And Justin seems even more like a spider when you consider that the rest of what little content he got this episode was mostly about dealing with the fly infestation that's plaguing Vula Beach.
So this plant, say, has me troubled for several reasons. You know, she reminds me of like one of my kids. I would just have a hard time breaking that loyalty.
Despite doing that at the immunity challenge and the vote not going the way he wanted, the rest of this episode went pretty well for Cedrek. He strengthened his bond with Say while convincing her to play her hidden immunity idol. He participated in a successful blindside, and at the end of it, he emerged as one of the people as in control as you can possibly be while also being a member of Vula tribe. Next episode, he can split off into a father-daughter duo with Say and target Justin, solidify his men's alliance with Justin to go after Say, or continue working with the Vula Core 3 to eliminate Mary. But despite Vula Tribe's huge role in the season so far, the edit is mostly ignoring Cedrek outside of necessary circumstantial content. His confessionals usually revolve around his relationship with Say, and even in this episode, when he was emotional after the challenge loss, it still felt like circumstantial content because he was so terrible at that challenge. How could the show not address it? But I think the strongest piece of evidence that Cedrek will probably not win Survivor is that he said his strategy was to have his cake and eat it too, to someone who wouldn't get to eat that same cake.
A humble trait is just something that God gives you to knock you down, you know? So my right foot, she's okay, she's kind of cute. My left foot, jacked up.
When Charity's wonky left foot became a topic of conversation at Siva Beach, her chances of winning shot up. Survivor 48 is the 3rd New Era season to feature an extended scene about a woman's toes.
So my toes are pretty. It's just that my big toe is just abnormally longer than my other toes. You want me to pinch you?
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Which one, the pinky? It's fine. I actually lose my pinky toes pretty often.
1 or 2 more, and it'll be time for someone to have a word with the editors. What's even weirder is that the other women whose feet made air, Marianne and Dee, both went on to win the game. So if Charity wins too, then this theory is gonna have real legs. Toes. From a season premiere edit that was mostly invisible while also somehow being extremely negative, Charity's content did a 180 in this episode. She still didn't get that much, but she led Siva's silly and charming humble traits scene, snagged the episode title for herself in the process, and finally found a strategic ally in Mitch. Better to be on the bottom together than apart, but best would be to get out of the bottom, which seems like it's going to be pretty difficult for Charity save a tribe swap, and that seems even less likely.
I know what I'm doing with my idol at Tribal Council, so I know I'm coming back to the beach. It's just a matter of who's gonna come back to the beach with me. I hold grudges.
With every episode that Say's edit doubles down, her odds of winning go down, and her arc is beginning to show signs of the weaknesses she warned us about in the premiere.
You honestly will never know what's gonna come out of my mouth. The lack of filter, it gets me in trouble a lot of the time.
First, Say tells Mary she isn't mad that Mary voted for her, then can't hide that she definitely is.
I want her to think that I don't hold grudges, but I hold grudges. I have no hard feelings about it. I'm okay.
I don't know about that.
I mean, you lied to my face, but you also lied to my face. We can be healthier, establish a healthier relationship.
I would like that.
Yeah,
for sure.
Of course. But what I wasn't expecting was my name. So, yeah.
Next, Cedrek warns Say that Kevin is targeting her. Say promises she won't let anyone know that she knows. Cut to her suddenly trying to convince Justin that Kevin is untrustworthy. It also might be a bad sign that Say's post-Tribal Council confessional about her position within Vula was ominously similar to one Kevin gave before the next Tribal Council, his last.
Right now, Justin and Cedrek are lockstep on the three guys alliance.
So just confirming, us four on Mary. Okay, cool.
With Say gone, that just leaves me in the power position of the Vula tribe.
I am the one in control right now. My idol keeps me safe. My core 4 keeps me safe.
Though I think Say's chances to win are getting worse with every minute of screen time, I hope she makes it to at least earn the merge, because if she has the
cheek, the nerve, the gall, the audacity, and the gumption
to try to claim a practice round as the real thing after she happened to win it, who knows what else she'll try? Following Mary around to stop her from idol hunting if the next time on Survivor is to be believed, and it rarely is, but I don't know what else this could be.
What are your humble traits?
Oh, you know, I just have a small speech impediment that occasionally shows up every now and then.
Mitch made this episode his He easily beat the puzzle game at the Journey to win a block a vote, then immediately told his entire tribe star style. His performance at the end of the immunity challenge single-handedly won Siva tribe first place, and he found an ally in Charity. They're still up against an alliance of 4 with a hidden immunity idol who have now decided Mitch is playing too hard, but a little early adversity isn't uncommon for a new era winner. During the tribal phase of the game, Marianne, Gabler, Kenzie, Rachel, and even Erica, before she ended up never going to a pre-merge tribal council, all seemed in trouble at some point. Mitch comes out of this episode looking like a highly competent challenge player and a capable social one too. But it's still hard to imagine him winning because right now it's hard to imagine anyone from Siva winning. While the other 2 tribes are consistently shown playing in the aggressive style Jeff pushed in his welcome speech last episode, the Siva 6 are the vibe tribe.
I got. But I didn't get as got as Steph did.
Hear me out. I'm a delusional Mary fan. But actually, I think the edit has invested too much into Mary for her to just get predictably eliminated at one of what are sure to be many more Vula tribal councils. On the other hand, her relationship with Kevin wasn't as important as I thought it would be, because ultimately it wasn't very important at all, and it was other people's gameplay, not her own, that kept her in the game. She couldn't even vote. She also starred in one of the episode's bonus scenes, which I would normally see as a negative because it means the content wasn't important enough to make it into an episode. But in this case, the content truly was unimportant. We just learned that Mary likes to swim, which was already very evident given her challenge performance.
So this morning we get tree mail and we all go together. I'm elated because when Kevin reads it, it says that we're going to be in water. And water challenges were one of the reasons that I wanted to apply for the show.
That this was chosen to go on YouTube makes me even more curious about where Mary's game is headed, because it's such a nothing scene. It's short, it's repetitive, and ultimately it's irrelevant, because Mary's impressive swimming doesn't matter if Cedrek is just gonna do this when it's his turn. But Survivor's editing is always intentional. It wants us to get to know Mary, to see her as an underdog, to root for her against Say. The story the editors have chosen to tell won't have as satisfying an ending unless Mary's game turns around. And even though she lost her vote on the Journey, the soundtrack was upbeat as she returned to Vula Beach. Come the merge, at least one person will climb out of the Vula tribe's ashes, and though it may seem like a long shot, I think Mary is the most likely person.
So, fun fact, I have 4 nipples.
Oh, okay.
Come on, man. That's a little weird. Okay, sorry. Maybe that's why I like milk so much. I don't know.
Throughout this episode, and in the 2 bonus scenes he's been featured in so far, an unfortunate theme is developing for David, not delivering what he says he will. In one bonus scene, he says he can make fire without flint, and he gets close, but he can't do it. In another, David says he's got spearfishing experience. He ignores the small fries in the reef and swims far out to where there are much bigger fish on screen than what we usually see, but he doesn't catch a single one. won. That those are bonus scenes could be a good thing because his failures aren't making it onto TV, just YouTube. But in this episode, David also failed to find the beware advantage. He was the first person to notice all the animal symbols, only for Mitch to narrate most of the subsequent scene about them, and he suggested the Siva 4's group idol hunt only for Kyle to be the one who found it. David's edit is a bizarre mix of winner-esque content.
It is hard to find an advantage on Survivor, but the thrill of it is what I like so much.
Contradictions.
I'm not here to pull on through everybody. One, there you go. Two.
Clownery.
I'm not gonna say I wish I could milk myself or anything, but maybe it wouldn't be the worst thing.
And bravado.
I need to show the world how good I am.
He's one of the contestants I'm most confused by, so I'm just gonna keep putting him right in the middle of these rankings for now.
Finding a hidden immunity idol on Survivor feels incredible. I never thought I would find one. It means security, it means I have power in this game, and I'm ready to use it.
Kyle is still staying true to the game he says he'll play. Last episode, he wanted to be an effective teammate, then helped Kevin finish the supplies challenge. He also described himself as an impulsive player, and when he found a beware advantage in this episode, he celebrated like this.
No way! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Kyle and Kamilla continue to be one of the season's important pairs, but I continue to see Kamilla as the more likely winner between the two, because most of her content has been strategic, while most of his has been event-based. Even though Kyle could potentially cruise into the merge with a 4-person alliance, a hidden immunity idol, and a positive edit, something's missing. I think it might be less circumstantial screen time.
I am nervous, but I feel like Joe is going to make sure that I can stay in this game.
Last episode, Eva talked about the social challenges she would face on Survivor. In this episode, she said that the Loggy tribe's success is due to the mutual respect everyone has for one another, then unknowingly insulted Star by suggesting that she sit out of the next challenge before they'd even gotten the tree mail clue about what it would be. Eva's partnership with Joe kept her in the know about Star's attempt to target her afterward, and it's not the only time this episode that Eva's ship was righted thanks to Joe. At the end of the immunity challenge, Eva sank a couple shots, then started missing. Thomas asked if someone else should try. Eva said no and kept missing. Only when she eventually did switch, with Joe, did their tribe finish the challenge. Being part of a duo is important this season, but it's also important to be able to beat your partner at Final Tribal Council. And as of now, Joe is kind of seeming like the final boss of unbeatable partners.
Trust is so hard to find out here, and that was like an insane display of trust. Kyle trusting me to solve it for him feels like $1 million itself.
Kamilla was physically present while the rest of Siva tribe cried laughing about their humble traits, but she's the only person who didn't share their own. She didn't talk at all, except to say, "What?" once off screen.
What?
And she didn't even need to show off her toes to come out of the scene looking good, because believe it or not, there's precedent for New Era winners talking about other parts of their body too.
Do my eyes look really blue? Good. They always look really blue after I cry. The shining light. If you're gonna cry, at least my eyes look good.
Nobody has ever said anything about my snoring. I know I snore. My husband tells me, he's super annoyed I snored, but for some reason, I thought I was snoring here.
Later, in a long confessional, Kamilla explains how she unlocked Kyle's beware advantage and connects her love of video games to her ability to succeed on Survivor. Even though I'm not sure how being good at Valorant helped her unscramble the word enlist. Still, I think Kamilla is in a way better position than someone like Chrissy, who talked about her weird belly button, but never about her gameplay. I don't think a Siva member will win the season, but if one can, it's Kamilla's to lose.
No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
More than anyone else, Thomas is embodying all of the season's early themes. He's got a partner in Bianca, even if their opposite amounts of airtime make me think it might not amount to much. He underestimates himself physically in comparison to Loggy Tribe's many, many athletes, and he seizes opportunities by taking a journey, then earning a steal-a-vote that's currently the only secret advantage in the game because no one had any faith in their ability to solve the hidden immunity idol cipher on their own. Even though Thomas's suggestion that the puzzle guide guide for unlocking Star's Beware advantage, Go Missing, is the fearless, decisive gameplay Jeff asked for. It's presented as ruthless, because it's also that. And Shauhin criticizes it in a confessional as too aggressive a move. It also makes him nervous about Thomas in general. Typically, you don't want the show to air other contestants questioning your gameplay. And by the end of the scene, I think the audience is meant to agree with Shauhin, even though I think the season's themes agree more with Thomas.
At this point, I'm like, I gotta slow down. I need more time to think about what I want to do with this advantage.
So far, I think Shauhin is getting a pretty standard winner's edit. We know what he's thinking without needing to understand the episode. We hear his perspective on the game, but we also get to know his personality.
At Loggy, we have everything that you need to make camp life a little more tolerable. We have Wi-Fi, Probsty 5G, right? Password, dig48.
Dig48.
You gotta dig!
Shauhin is always around, always portrayed positively, but never editorially overexposed, even as we follow him instead of Star through most of the search for Loggy's hidden immunity idol. That's largely Star's fault for giving Shauhin the puzzle guide, as is the different soundtracks that accompany both of their searches.
A lizard, a bird, a dolphin, an octopus, a turtle, and I think a fish.
I sprint around the island with the puzzle guide lining up the pictures of the animals, and those little cutouts make letters.
The only problems are that Shauhin isn't part of the pair yet, and that he hasn't gotten emotional about his life or shared anything about his work. But it's only episode 2, so he's got like 11 more to partner up with someone and cry on camera.
What I'm finding out about those emotional connections is it comes with a heavy cross to bear because it's all wrapped into a game.
I'm just a loyal ass person.
Joe retained his #1 spot from my last ranking by also retaining his positive edit even as he's begun to face adversity. While Kevin was excited to betray his allies, say, judging by the way Joe stress-ripped coconuts in this episode, he seemed worried when he realized that he is now in conflicting alliances with everyone on his tribe except Bianca. And not because he was afraid Bianca might feel left out. He's decisive about choosing who he wants to stay aligned with moving forward, and it's Eva, obviously. But how Joe navigates these inevitable betrayals and whether or not they happen before the jury phase could determine if he wins or ends up with a trail of bitter ex-allies, despite his insistence that he's a loyal-ass person. A strategy that's lost the game for people like Lil Morris and Mike Turner. Thanks for watching. If you're so inclined, please like and subscribe, and maybe even consider turning notifications on, and come back next week for more Survivor 48 Power Rankings.